Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. My name is Mr. Panda, and today I will be absolutely destroying and roasting your portfolios and Three.js projects and Blender. Sorry, what did I just say? Uh, but I do want to say this video is a little bit different from my other videos in the sense that I actually asked all the creators that are featured in this video to record a small narrative about some of the things that are important to them or they want to highlight out in their project, or maybe like motivations or intentions. So I kind of just wanted to feel like, instead of me getting the spotlight all the time, I kind of want to share that a little bit. And it's also good just to get like a lot of diverse viewpoints and things like that as well. So I'm super excited to continue doing that. So without further ado, let's just dive in straight into the first author statement.
Yeah, so hey everyone, I'm Tariq and I built this 3D city portfolio, I guess you could call it. And yeah, Andrew asked me to share a few words about it, so I figured I would address the obvious question, which is why I go through all the trouble of building, an entire 3D city with models, animations, and everything instead of just, a simple portfolio. And honestly, I just wanted something that feels alive, like because I've a lot of career-related human interactions, resumes and LinkedIn DMs are just weirdly cold, and most days I get the feeling like you're a PDF before you're a person, and you just turn almost into just a paper with some verbs like, oh, I built this thing, collaborated on this, shipped this, and it's tidy and it's nice, but I feel like it misses the human stuff, the detours, the late night fixes, the streaks where you're losing 10 chess games in a row and still queuing up another game to go and lose again. So I tried to build somewhere that you can actually step into my world and see what I do in my 24 hours, not some highlight reel of my accomplishments, but just a window into my life where you can have a look and make your own judgment rather than me trying to convince you, oh, hey, I'm the second coming of Einstein. And that's why I went through the trouble of building a whole animated opening sequence where you print a boarding pass, board a train to the city, because I wanted you to get this feeling that, hey, I'm taking a little adventure into this world from the World Wide Web. And overall, it was just meant to be personal, but not oversharing. Just a glimpse into how I spend my days and the things I'm passionate about. And it's still a work in progress, and there's a lot more I want to add. But between new projects and a full-time 9 to 5 job, there's only so much in a day. So new features are gonna have to wait for now. But I hope people enjoy exploring it, and feel free to reach out if you have any ideas, feedback, or just want to chat about the project. And of course, thank you, Andrew, for including me in the video. And yeah. Thank you.
So I think it's so cool in the sense that he's got a whole narrative with trains straight off the bat. Here you can see that there's some building. I think it's loading. I could check the network tab, but anyway, you click print boarding pass, which is so cool. And then it's got like his name as a country. So cool. And such a thoughtful sort of interaction. And then here you can see a really, really cool intro over here. I'm going to mute it just because in case there's any copyright sounds or whatever but there is audio. So really cool sound design. And yeah, the train comes in. Super, super cool. I really love the intro over here. And then as you scroll down, you can see there's like a progress on the text over there, which is super cool. The design is very, very clean and good. I really like it. It reminds me of like bento sort of designs. I've seen like a lot of top sort of developers and designers have bento sort of portfolios. This is just one quick way to make one. I wouldn't say this sort of glass morphism bento style matches the 3D scene sort of style, but independently, the 2D interface is really, really cool and really clean. But yeah, I really love the micro interactions. It definitely makes the interface feel alive, and the sound effects as well. I just turned on the sound effects because I wanted it to. So I'm just going to keep scrolling. I mean, there's so much here, so much personality, like his journey and everything. So All these places are probably relevant to, themes or things that he's been through. You can even see over here how many micro interactions he has. I hover over this, it updates that over there. The whole idea here is like how much he works with each of these. Like Python takes half a strand, TypeScript takes half a strand, Scala takes like half a strand, Rust takes like fourth of a strand, and this takes like 2/10 of a strand. So that's the whole idea, like how much he works with each. So cool. I mean, there's just so many micro interactions. I love it. It's just so cute. Um, Design and everything. And wow, even the images change as you go through these. So sweet. So many micro interactions. I just love it. It's amazing. I can't cover all of this, otherwise this would be a really, really, really long video. But I'm just completely mind blown at all the micro interactions. Definitely spend some time and just check out all those micro interactions. You'll definitely find something that will, inspire you to create your own micro interactions. Same thing here. He's got some hover effects. So cool. Some college clubs and organizations he's a part of in education. Like, look at this micro interaction here. That's so awesome. And that sound effect, it's so sweet. Oh my gosh. It's just, I don't remember. This is my first time looking at it in a few months, and wow, this is just. I love the sound effects. I love the thoughtfulness that went into this portfolio for sure. And then the languages, they show the levels, and then even some context for those who are not familiar with the ranking system, and some more micro interactions. I'm just blazing through these right now, but there's just like I learned a lot of micro interactions that I could probably put into my own sort of work later. It's so thoughtful, and you know, it's just it's just amazing. So much personality in here as well. What are these? Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Football, or soccer as the Americans would like to say it. And then we got chess as well. Let's see if I change this. Does it do anything? Oh, it also animates. Yeah, like the portfolio itself also shows like skill to implement dashboards. So if anyone needs a dashboard, you can know that he probably knows how to implement them. Look at that small little cute SVG animation over there. Over here on highlight, that's a really satisfying sound. He's got his own logo here as well. Maybe he designed that in like Illustrator or Photoshop or something. But this menu is so cute. I mean, I love it. So he makes beverages himself, and then he also incorporated that in his scene. And then a little small Easter eggs like I'm not actually selling anything, lol. It's just so filled with personality and contact at the end. Very clean, very beautiful. And then some credits and acknowledgments. Definitely a really must do for a large project, and I think it's so sweet that he did that as well. So, just to summarize, I think this is one of the most thoughtful, personality packed websites I have ever seen. Like, the only critique I would have is probably the 3D design and the 2D design not really matching up. And the 3D design has some areas of improvement, but like everything else, I would totally hire you for my agency just based on all the thoughtfulness and all the personality. I would hire you without a doubt, instantly. So really good job. Thank you for letting me roast and review your portfolio. I'm so excited to see all the cool stuff that you do in the future.
Hi, so I made Basil Cloud. I modeled, textured, and developed basically everything in here. I guess some advice I could give is to get feedback at every stage of the design process, not just the testing phase. So some of the ideas came about after I showed it to others. So for example, this cashier. One of my friends said how cool it would be if after interacting with the checkout, you could see who you were paying. Another were the two female toilets down here. So initially I developed the female toilet at first, but I didn't have any idea how to theme the male one. But after talking it through with an artist friend, I figured how interesting would it be if the other toilet was just straight up not even a cafe. So I guess in that same vein, try to be flexible with your projects. There were times when I remodeled an entire object because the topology just wasn't working out, or some other reason. Some practical tools I would use to keep up with the scope is a note taker app like Notion. So this is the Notion page for this project, because I think with personal projects like these, it's super easy to burn out and lose motivation if you don't set any hard deadlines. Personally, I think you should take projects to learn something. This was initially a project I took just to learn 3D modeling, but became an interactive web app, and I ended up learning Three.js along the way. Anyway, thanks Andrew for showing my project. I spent a lot of time making this, and I hope you enjoy this experience as well. Um, the GitHub repo for this is public here if you want to take a peek. Thanks.
Now, the idea behind this website is to do like 10 interactions and then uncover a hidden Easter egg, I believe. So it's been a while since I've done this, so I don't actually remember the micro interactions. But here you can see that the stuff that are clickable, there's no actual cursor pointer. I think that's intended in the sense that you're supposed to click around and try and see or think of what's cool. And here I kind of clicked on some wall painting art, and you can see it incremented 1 out of 10, which means I discovered 1 out of 10 places to click and interact. I really love this thing, this sort of infinite concept here. I feel like if you have like a room in a room in a room, like that would be so cool, like another room inside this room. I'm not going to show you everything because I want you to explore this portfolio yourself. One really cool thing I do want to point out is like this over here. You can like sit down and actually have the robot come to you and like order stuff, and then you can like order food. Like, I mean, this is like crazy. And then just watch this. You can like eat it too, and then it plays like the Minecraft eating animation. Just that's just so incredible. I kind of want you to exploit it yourself. Here is Bear Country. Make sure you click that. You can see now there's a hidden sort of thing here. And now you can see there's some teddy bears here that says do not disturb. So I would not disturb those. I would not click on those too much, or something bad might happen. But oh my gosh, this is just, it's such a fun thing to do. I don't want to spoil everything for you. My only critique here, I think, is just like having a more playful interface to match the playfulness of the game, and maybe a few more micro interactions to make it the scene feel a little bit more alive. And I noticed like baking, you could probably bake a separate texture here with the teddy bears on there, and then switch to that second texture after the teddy bears. That way the shadows there. Now there's no shadows obviously because it's just a baked texture that's not switching. But I totally get it, because like even on my YouTube courses, my websites are like 70 or 80% done. I don't bother adding the 20% micro interactions to those websites. For what this project is for, I think it's so really cool, and I hope to see you create some really, really more cool, fun, playful things like this in the future. I definitely want to do some version of a robot interaction like that in the future.
Hello, I'm Priscilla, and this is my personal website. This has to be one of my most favorite projects I've ever created, and I created this right before college started. I've actually been wanting to create a personal website ever since like 9th or 10th grade, but I couldn't bring myself to create a 2D website after seeing that 3D websites existed. So once I stumbled on Andrew's tutorial on YouTube, I saved it. And like I kept it like saved for such a long time, and then I thought, oh no, college is gonna start and I'm gonna be so busy. So I just created this website like in a week. Yes, literally in a week. And I did not know any 3D modeling before like creating this website, but Andrew's tutorial is really, really good. So yeah, I love his website because you can show a lot of like personality about yourself. Like show like, oh, I like boba, or like, oh, I love League of Legends, or like I like Kirby. But you can't really do that on like a 2D website. So that was like my like motivation behind creating a 3D website. So yes, I really love I really liked his tutorial. And of course, I made a lot of mistakes with Blender, especially because I did not autosave, so I lost like an entire day's of work, like one day. That was a big headache. Yes, and I also implemented this website using React. I know in his tutorial he used Vanilla.js, but in a different tutorial he used React. So like I followed like part of his tutorial for like the 3D modeling and then part of his tutorial for like actually creating the website so I can like add website routes, which was pretty cool. And I think my most favorite feature about this website is that like yes, you can show a lot of personality. Like you can see my dog's statues. When I go to UT Austin, I'm Christian. Like you won't really see that on a 2D website, which is super fire. And I love how Andrew added music, because I added also my own music too. Yep. Anyways, in the future, I think I would probably improve this website to include like better 3D models because I baked the 3D models, but kind of got scuffed up right there. Anyways, thank you so much to Andrew creating his tutorial because I wouldn't be able to do this without his tutorial at all. I actually like sent this tutorial to a couple of my friends. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
So you heard Priscilla, she did this in a week as a first-time Blender user, which is kind of crazy. I mean, this is unreal. I mean, I don't know how it's possible to learn Blender and 3GS that good in 1 week. I mean, that's just pure talent right there, and that's so awesome. I mean, I love it when people learn things faster than I do. It means I got some catching up to do. I'm getting old. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. So she kind of already pointed out everything I think that I would point out. I mean, I really love the personality touches, like the college, her religion, and things like that. So it's really sweet, it's really cute, and I guess I'll just get into the critiques. So just a few comments that I would say. These black lines along the seams of baking, just make sure when you're baking to turn off denoise. There is an open ticket on, I think there's an open pull request on GitHub for Blender to fix that bug. But for now, you have to disable denoise and then just denoise the texture after done baking. If you leave this on, you're going to get the black lines along the seams. Another thing I'll say is with mirror modifiers, make sure you don't have extra axes turned on that you don't need. Like here, I think maybe by accident there was another axis flipped on top of itself. So now it's like two legs on top of each other and it's causing the Z fighting there. And try and be aware of like big gaps over here. When it's like small gaps, no one really notices, but for something over here, I would consider making that a little bit smaller or closing the gap. I don't know if low poly rocks here works. I would probably stay consistent with your more smooth style. And then when it comes to stylistic art like this, I feel like having a focal point, which would make it a lot more impactful. And if you're not familiar with a focal point in art, it's basically like a primary point of interest. There's other ways to say it. I think focus point, central area of interest, whatever. And you can see how I kind of structured that in mind. Here I have the screen animating, I have the fans animating, I have the coffee steam animating, I have the chair animating. All those animations bring your attention directly here. You'll also notice how large my table is compared to everything else in the scene. Max Hay talks about this a lot when he talks about his renders. You can watch this video. He talks about how he creates his focal points. This one also as well, 3 ways to improve your compositions. Even abstract painting itself generally has its focal points when you train in abstract art. Here you can see there's a clear focal point in the center. They use contrast here, very dark in the center and more faded pale on the outside. Here it's a lot more formy. You can see the focal point is over here. This one here, same thing. You can see a lot more colors over here and then it kind of fades out into like 1 or 2 colors. Do you always need a focal point when it comes to art? And the answer is no. There is some art, well, maybe that you wouldn't consider this art, but it's still design in a sense. But whether you consider this design or art or whatever you want to call it, the answer is no, you don't always need a focal point. But when it comes to stylistic work, here's another famous artist. You can see she kind of does the same thing. She uses a really large table, jam packs all the details here, really large chair, so you instantly know, okay, this is a room. Other large objects act like framing. Same thing with Max Hayes. You can see that these trees are larger than the building, but they act like frames to bring you to this main attention over here. Thank you so much, Priscilla, for letting me feature and roast your portfolio. Keep going, and I'm so excited to see what you create in the future.
Hi everyone, my name is Jovani, and thanks for checking out my website, where instead of scrolling on a 2D page, you'll walk through the home I built in Minecraft that contains lots of content on who I am and some of the other work I completed while attending university. So, this whole thing started when I wanted to go the extra mile on making a portfolio website and found Andrew Wohen's channel. where I came across this 3D Minecraft website tutorial and thought, cool, what if I make my life way harder? So I built a house in Minecraft, brought it into Blender for pruning and texture baking, and then imported that into my codebase. The goal wasn't to produce just a 3D website. I wanted something that clearly shows effort, patience, and that I'm willing to take on a project that I have zero experience in. More specifically, I had no experience with Blender or anything to do with 3D web programming. When you first open the site, you'll be greeted by a loading screen with a responsive layout. It contains tips, user interface names, and the device-specific navigation icons. These help pass the time while the 3D assets and images load up, so by the time you enter the world, you're not lost, you're just curious. The pathway includes subtle touches like a field of view nudge near any interactable photo, and I also made a fast travel map of the home that you can use if you want to jump around much faster. So, moving on to the photos. The photos, excluding the living room photos, are proof that I have a life outside of this project and my other projects, and it's a life that I'm grateful to share with all of you. Now, the living room photos, those contain full write-ups for my 3 largest projects that I completed while attending university, with the first being a VR typing research experiment done in Unreal Engine. It includes a custom office environment with 2 realistic laptops and a keyboard, a robotic claw that reacts to how accurately people are typing. It all while runs completely smooth, and it calculates things that we need for user data like words per minute. The next project I had was the chess game. This one goes a bit into the back end with the board logic, move validation, and the testing. It's also paired with the front end that manages the state of the game plus user interactions without ever drifting out of sync. Lastly, the first of the 3 projects is a robot. And in this project's documentation, it's mostly just about the memorable experience and the lessons of building the bot. It goes from the printed parts to the bad solder joints to the painful rewiring, and a later redesign to actually give the wires a lot more room to breathe. Wrapping it up since I'm close on time, in the end, I realized that I not only made a website that reflects my work ethic, but also a small space on the internet to house some of the people in my life who I cherish and that also drive me to go the extra mile. Thank you all for listening and have a great day.
Yeah, so I was kind of just going through it as the audio recording was playing, as there was no video portion of it. But it was just, I mean, I love this map thing so much. I mean, I knew that like there should have been a way for me to fast track when I was making my version of it. I was just like so lazy. Like I was considering doing like a progress bar along the bottom, and you would like click on the progress bar to teleport. But this is just like this is beyond anything I have ever imagined. It's just like you just can move the Ender Pearl wherever and teleport there. That is so cool, and the effect too. Oh my god. Uh, I just love this. I mean, now I'm just gonna think of like all the cool stuff I can do, even just beyond Minecraft when I'm like navigating around. Like that is just, oh my gosh, I love that. I just don't know what else to say other than just like that. That's just so amazing. Overall, the model is cool. I mean, it's just Minecraft, right? But all the photos, all the personality, and then of course the credits section, which is so sweet as well. People that you want to feature and thank for. And then also the build process is so cool as well to include that for the people that want to make a similar portfolio. For critiques, I would say that the camera movement, I know in the video I didn't adjust to rotation, but I did eventually end up doing that, so it would be global. You can see the code for the update that I made there. Another thing I'll say is the icons don't seem to have a consistent style design. Here, this one is not pixelated like the other ones. And then some of the camera movements, they seem a little jumpy in certain areas. Like over here, it's a little bit jumpy. I don't know if that's intended. Maybe that's intended just like, oh, look or focus over here. Maybe it could be a little bit smoother. But other than that, I mean, guys, like, visit this portfolio. Take some time to look at the details. It's so cute, and I love the community that you have surrounding you. It's so heartwarming, and I really love this project. So this next project is also based on the Minecraft video. I think this is his first Three.js project, and it's normally in French, so I translated it into English. But I really like that it has a tutorial here. I think Jovani also had a tutorial. I forgot to bring that up, but this is like a city scene, and I love seeing like similar concepts applied to different art. Here you can see on scroll triggers an animation. I think that's such a really cool thing to do. Like as you progress, it triggers animations. I wanted to do that for my Minecraft one as well, but I didn't end up doing that. And basically the idea is like it's his city and you just go through the city and see some cool sort of interactions. Now, one thing I really like about this project is that it also has a night mode that you can switch in between. It's always cool to have a night mode, always cool to have that. And this is kind of like the thing that I wanted to do in my Minecraft one, where you could like click on buttons to travel some areas. So like a map sort of thing and in Minecraft style, but the concept is very similar. It's a good user experience to not have them wait. I think over here, yeah, he also has like a 2D version. Like if you don't want to do the 3D version, just go straight to the 2D version. This is great for user experience because not everyone wants to spend time scrolling through your website. In terms of critiques, I think having some shadows for the models would definitely make it look a lot more pop outish and like a lot more cool. I would consider adding a little bit of more personality to the city. I don't know, maybe like you're into hiking, you would have like a hiking story and things like that. But overall, really cool for a first time Blender and Three.js project. And thank you so much for letting me roast and feature your project.
Hit the Spot was something I created from May to around September of this year. I had started casually learning Blender about a year ago, and web development was always something I was really interested in since taking a class on it in college. And so I came across the creative web development Crossy Road like portfolio tutorial, and I was really interested with the potential there. I really don't have a lot of coding background, none in JavaScript and definitely none in Three.js, and I wasn't really interested in making a portfolio. But what I quickly realized was that what was being taught in the tutorial was kind of like a game where the user could control a player in the scene. And so from there, I started building my first scene, which is the pink bar scene, and my very first character, which is the martini glass. I would say the foundation of this game takes from the tutorial, but I definitely consulted a lot with ChatGPT to add new features and also to get rid of some features and just overall to bring my vision of the website to life. And then nearing September, I ended up getting a little burnt out, and I decided to take a little hiatus to work on creating other projects. And I'm not sure if I'll come back to Hit the Spot, but it really taught me about the potential that 3D has for web development.
Yeah, so you heard Dallier. She uses an alias, so I'm not going to say her actual name. But I don't know if you saw me playing during the talking, but this is just like such a fun way to, instead of like making a portfolio, to use the same sort of logic to create a game. I mean, this is so cool. I love seeing cute things like this, like, and being able to apply those square sort of modeling techniques those into full 3D scenes is just, it's always so cool to see creativity used in different ways. Like even the character is a very simple model, but it just feels holistic in this entire scene, and I love all of it. And it's so playful and it's so funny, and there's so much to like explore. There's so much potential with this too, like in the future, or just like inspiring other people to sort of make a similar thing. Like later, I definitely want to make some sort of game like this too. Just the idea that you can like find places. I do believe she has told me that there are multiple places to activate the next scene. Yeah, as you can see here, there's another place. So I don't want to give away all of it. Oh wow, there's more scenes. Okay, I actually never went this way before. I've only been the other way, so there's probably some other sort of hidden thing here that I don't know about. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it. I mean, that's so cool. I kind of just want to play it myself, I guess. I didn't know there was a secret level over there, which probably means there's other secret levels I haven't seen yet. But yeah, definitely check this out. I mean, this is such a creative idea. I love it. I love seeing multiple different scenes too in the same style. It's just like you can create anything with any style and it'll just be cool. When it comes to critiques, I mean, there's really not much to critique here. I could probably talk about like user experience, interface, micro interactions, adding animations, adding camera movement where you can like look around the scene or like whatever. But for the project purpose, where it's just to like find cute little things as a character and like admire the artistry with the design, I feel like I can't really say much on it whatsoever. Oh, there's a next scene. Oh, it's just the end. But yeah, I don't know if I can really like critique this at all, but it's such a cute idea. Thank you, Dallier, so much for letting me feature and roast your project. Such a cute idea, and I'm so excited to see what you create in the future. So that is all for the video. See you next time. Take care, and please subscribe. Please subscribe.